content, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. We are live for the second time ever. I'm interested to see what you guys think. Let me fix my camera here. I'm interested to see what you guys think of what was AEW Double or Nothing. As I go through, I'm going to tell you what I think. Feel free to comment in below. Feel free to tell me what you thought of the matches. What was your match of the night? How did you guys feel about Double or Nothing? For me, I really felt like Double or Nothing dropped the ball. I don't think it was because of overexcitement. I don't think it was I was extremely excited about anything. If you watch my recent videos on my page, I wasn't excited about CM Punk versus Hangman Adam Page because I just pretty much knew what direction they was already heading in before they ever got there. And tonight, in all honesty, was just flat out a mess. For whatever reason, something just felt off about the whole night. Something just felt like it wasn't making sense throughout the whole flipping show. Can I really put my finger on it? No, not really. Do I know what really went wrong? As a whole, no, I guess I can't. The fact of the matter is, tonight was not a success in my eyes, especially since Tony Khan wanted to take shots at WWE. There was quite a few empty seats that was not taken at AEW Double or Nothing. So I guess for a show that is called Double or Nothing, I guess for me, I got nothing. Now, don't get me wrong on this. There were some matches, like the Hangman Adam Page vs. CM Punk match was a barely solid match. Adam Cole versus Samoa Joe was a solid match. Britt Baker versus Ruby Soho was a pretty good match. Chris Jericho Society versus Eddie Kingston and the Black and Ortiz and Santana with the Combat Club. That was that was my match of the night. What really turned me off of tonight's show was the sloppiness in which we've seen tonight. What really turned me off on tonight's show was, in one match, the lack of story. The confusion that was in a match. Now, I'll probably make shorter videos talking about these. First and foremost, too, the MJF match tonight was definitely a squash. I made a video talking about MJF and him not wanting to play ball. Him booking a flight to get out of Las Vegas. Now, I don't know the reason behind why he no-showed a Fan Fest and he booked a flight to get out of Las Vegas. I don't know the reason behind that. The only people that know the reason behind that is probably MJF and maybe a select few wrestlers inside AEW. But that match was first for a reason. People wanted to see it. Now, regardless if Wardlow was meant to win that match or not, I don't think it's because Wardlow was meant to win that match that Maxwell Jacob Friedman had a problem with the match at all. What I think the problem was, and what the problem is, was probably backstage heat with Tony Khan. Maybe something got said, maybe something got done that he didn't agree with, so he decided he wasn't going to play ball. So they went out there and they punished Maxwell Jacob Friedman on live pay-per-view. He did play ball. He did sell his butt off. He did right by Wardlow. Congratulations to Wardlow. But I could definitely, judging by MJF's matches in the past, that match should have been way better, way more exciting than what it really was. This was simply a squash match to get MJF out of the way, to get him back to the back. They had him carted off on a stretcher. I imagine he's going to be off TV for a little while until they figure out or come to terms with his contract, whatever that may be. Marvin, my buddy, if you see him flying back and forth, that's my little dog. He's jumping back and forth. He's excited. But the sloppiness in which I'm talking about here is the sloppiness in the lack of professionalism on locking in the sharpshooter. The lack of professionalism when you lock in the Scorpion Deathlock. When you can't get the clover leaf. Serena Deeb. They were sitting on the legs of the opponents. Darby Allin sitting on the legs of his opponent. Kyle O'Reilly just sitting on the legs. All three of them matches. You tell me, who's watched Sting, who watched Bret Hart, who watched Stone Cold Steve Austin lock in the Texas Cloverleaf, who's watched these people lock these moves in. You want the back, and I'm going to try to do it with my hand. You don't want it barely bent like this with the legs in the lock. You want that back bent into a scorpion as if you're falling and you hit the scorpion move. You got to make it believable. There was sloppiness throughout all of AEW tonight. The Hardys looked like they didn't really know what the heck was going on. That their age is definitely showing against the Young Bucks. Jeff Hardy looked like he was lost out there in the ring in a couple of spots. Now, I know accidents happen. I know that things go wrong. I know things don't go as planned. I get it. I understand it. But at the same time, how can all of these matches have so much mess up, so many sloppiness, when these are professional wrestlers going out there and doing a job that they've done 1,000 times over? Like I said, something just felt off tonight. Then you have America's Top Team come out. Paige Vance has her debut match. No really hype up to her coming out other than what she said, though, weeks ago. Fans were booing, which makes sense based on the turn that happened against Kazarian when Scorpio Sky fought him in that confusing match with Sammy Guevara, which I've already made a short. Go check it out. Ranting about that match. When they was pushing Sammy Guevara to be a heel and Scorpio Sky to be a babyface, and then you do the double turn when you didn't need to do the double turn. And then the nice Sammy Guevara Kazarian gets a mediocre response. Then Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti come out and the boos rain in on them. Who am I supposed to chill? Who am I supposed to boo? What I'm talking about is the basic fundamentals of any wrestling match. I don't want to be confused on who's good and who's the bad guy. Now, if I want to cheer for the bad guy, more power to me. If I want to cheer for the babyface, more power to me. But give me a choice and make it a clear choice on who and what I'm cheering for. By the end of the match, everybody was cheering for Paige Vance. I'm shortening the name. I ain't saying it correctly, I know. Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. Somewhat. But then they had a backstage interview, which once again left us confused on who was the flipping good guys and who was really bad. It just didn't make no sense. AEW, to me, for the last month and a half, I don't know if it's getting, I want to say it's getting stale, but things don't matter like they used to. And don't let me forget to mention, if you like the content, hit the like, hit the subscribe button. And then you put CM Punk and Adam Page together, making Adam Page seem like more of the heel, making him grab the belt by the end of the match, thinking he's going to hit CM Punk, and then he changes his mind. Let's be honest, everybody knew what way this match was going to go. We knew who was going to win. And I'm really upset at the fact that it was Hangman who had to take the fall for CM Punk. Because where do you go with Hangman if he loses, which he did? Tell me, where do you go with him? Somebody put in the comments, where would you go with him? CM Punk could have took that loss, and it never would have hurt him. It never would have affected him. But Tony Khan and AEW booked themselves into a corner. From the very moment that CM Punk arrived, I told my friends, CM Punk is going to become world champion at AEW. And it will be one of the worst mistakes they ever made. You really think CM Punk is a better champion, or can be a better champion than Hangman Adam Page? Maybe because he has more pull backstage, so he won't let his character get ruined like Hangman's did as champion. Because let's face it, AEW dropped the ball on Hangman Adam Page's championship run. I'm not happy about CM Punk winning the title. And if you are, more power to you. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just voicing my opinion. And I'd be interested for you to explain to me why you like the fact that CM Punk is champion. Maybe you can enlighten me. Maybe you can explain something that maybe I'm just not thinking about or I'm overlooking. Hangman Adam Page, in my opinion, did not get the respect that he deserved as champion. And I do truly believe that if CM Punk would have been booked to lose that match, CM Punk probably takes his ball and goes home. It wasn't all bad tonight, though. Besides John Moxley's music playing over and over and over and over again during the Mayhem match with the Jericho Society, Blackpool Combat Club, Eddie Kingston, and Santana and Ortiz. What a horrible distraction that was. But if I was going to give match of the night to any show, with any match tonight on AEW Double or Nothing, I gotta go with that match. It was entertaining from start to finish, minus the music, but everything else made sense. Everything else was what it was. It was for entertainment purposes, and it was booked, I think, in the right spot. So kudos to AEW to listen to Chris Jericho, because I'm sure he had a major part in that decision. And I can't wait to see where the story goes. But that is definitely my match of the night. That all being said, for those of you who've tuned in, I want to thank you. Leave comments in the comment section what you felt about tonight's Double or Nothing pay-per-view for AEW. And I'll be making a video tomorrow on Memorial Day, probably breaking down a little bit more, focusing more on a certain subject or two. And I'll see you guys later.